All right, dude. You gotta turn this down if we're gonna start.
I'd probably turn it off because I'm gonna be like too distracted.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fucking love this movie.
Yeah, that's a good scene to pause it on.
No, it's the menu.
Oh. I was like, that's weird.
Is it gonna be weird us holding it though? Like it's not gonna make sounds?
No. I mean, no. I mean, just don't flail it around. I think it should be all right.
Flailing around.
We all comfortable?
We are comfortable.
So you got our haircut all set up? We're good to go? Dude, I was seriously so confused because
I'm sorry.
both lefties are in PB.
And I know.
Wait, and then you were like, Ryan got our booked an appointment for us to get our haircuts next Friday.
Okay, I thought it was your buddies doing it.
So it was, but he wasn't responding to either of us.
So
I texted him twice. He texted him.
So I sent him a message on Instagram, and he responded pretty fast.
Yeah, I think it's Instagram's where he pays attention.
Yeah.
How do you not pay attention to your cell phone? But whatever.
Yeah, but he was originally I was trying to get him to do it, like come over to like Dean's house or something later, but he didn't do it that way on Friday. So we have to go at like 3. And that's why I was like,
wait 3.
You gotta hold your mic way close to your face.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about going. It's not. It wasn't the deal that I had originally planned on. I just know that Connor cut his hair, so I asked him if he wanted to get one too. I wanted him to come over to like mine or Dean's house or something, and so we could just do everybody's hair. But we actually have to go to his shop, and the only time he could fit us in was Friday at 3.
Yeah, because we were trying to do like, everybody just come over to the house. We can like drink a little bit, hang out beforehand, like super nonchalant, casual. But yeah,
Trying to decide if I want to use my day off.
Let me know. I mean,
Use a day off to do that or not.
Yeah, let me know.
I'm just leaving work early, and Ryan said he's gonna go get his haircut first.
I'm gonna get it first.
So
Well,
then I can
if
show
I
up later.
don't, I'll need a schedule. I'll see if my shit can schedule me in this weekend or next weekend, or actually next weekend is a fucking thing. So I'll see what's up, and then if not, if worst case, I'll just take the day off.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah.
I'll talk to
All right.
Connor.
Oh yeah, you took the day off anyways though.
I did.
Oh, shit.
I know.
I forgot.
I did, but
Fuck,
but
I totally forgot about
I-
that.
did too.
They don't remember. So it's kind of like, do I want to use this day up? I was planning on using the day off for baseball now on opening day.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
So I'm trying to decide which one I prefer.
I'd probably use it for baseball.
Dude,
I
I
would.
don't know about you, but I'm really looking to fucking opening day.
I'm so dude.
Oh, yeah.
Which we'll probably
For
save
real.
this for pod. We could probably save this for the pod, but
I don't know. I think we have enough to talk about on the pod.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
I mean,
I'm fucking pumped for opening day.
I
I'm
don't know
super
who's
pumped
gonna
too.
be our starting pitcher, but I mean,
I just like how Enrique
Dude, I don't
always
know about
comes in the
but
clutch.
with our current roster, who's your pick for opening day starter? I'm gonna say Luke Casey for me, but
I was gonna, yeah.
Probably Luke Casey.
I guess Luke Casey.
I guess
mean,
Luke Casey.
yeah.
He was a fucking stud.
No,
for
I
us
know he was a
last year.
fucking stud.
Yeah,
And
for,
I like
for
he'll
first-year pitcher.
Yeah, but and I was thinking like, I mean, Lauer was a stud too for us too last
it was
year.
between. Luke Casey
So I'm
and
saying
Lauer.
it's like which one of them is gonna have the better spring
Lauer's-
training?
Lauer's splits are like crazy though. Like against
Yeah.
the Dodgers, he's fucking elite, which makes me really happy. But
You know who splits were crazy was Jacob Nix.
his
That guy
team-
was like one game lights out, the next game just racked, and I was just like, dude,
Who
come
are
on.
you?
Yeah, what's going on here?
He's like kind of like one of those guys who are not really. If he plays great, that's awesome. But he was not really a highly touted prospect. It's kind of like Villanueva for us last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited though. It'll be good. All right.
Dude, I'm just like.
I'm pumped. I'm ready to go.
All right. Everybody's levels look pretty good. It's just hard because we're holding them. But let's do it.
Just like rest them on your stomach or something. I feel like it's the easy thing to do.
We don't all have beer guts like you. I'm just kidding.
Hey, easy there.
Easy now.
Are you guys ready?
Let's do this.
Let's start the show.
Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Lights, camera, action.
What's up, everybody? 3 Amigos and a podcast, episode 35.
Wow.
Shit.
We're getting up there.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Well, we're talking baseball, and we were talking baseball last year, so that's how you know we're getting close to that 1 year mark.
Yep.
That's very true. Well, technically, no, I guess we did a couple weeks where we did 2. Like last week, we did the Super Bowl special.
It's true.
That's right.
Yeah. Shout out Enrique and the All Bad Podcast for coming on. And
speaking of the All Bad
podcast. Speaking of, we got to decide. So, as if you guys are listening, if you don't know, we had a little competition going on with the All Bad Podcast for Beer Pong 20 Cup. It was a best of 3 series, and we pulled it out.
Thank God it was a best of 3, though.
Dude, we pulled it off.
We did. We lost the first game.
Barely, though.
We just needed a warm up, though. That's what that was.
Yeah.
We can't, dude. The second game, we wrecked.
Yeah, the second game, it was like,
you mean game 3, right?
No, game 3, they came back a little bit. I mean, they still had 2 cups to our 1.
Well, game 2, we beat them by like 5 cups.
Yeah.
No, game 2, we came from behind, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, you're right.
No,
game 3, we were...
Game 3, we were whooping them.
A hot start.
Because
I remember because...
I mean, like 8 cups in the first 3 rounds.
Ryan carried us the first half of game 2, and then you were ice cold, and then the both of us started heating up at the end, to like finish it off.
That's very true. Well, we got to come up with our what do we want to post on their Instagram, because that was part of the deal.
Oh yeah, very true.
I mean,
we got to do it tastefully for sure.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's also the number 4 podcast. So I mean, how many followers do they really have?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you don't want to. We want to uphold our image as, classy podcast.
The classy Big Brother podcast.
That's right.
To those old men. Oh, man. But how was the rest of you guys' weekend? You guys do anything else besides Super Bowl, hanging out?
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what I did.
I went over to your house like 10 o'clock. We went over to your house like 10 o'clock on Sunday.
Dude, I honestly felt so disgusting because, started drinking at like 10 o'clock when you and Shirley got there. I was like,
yeah, it was a short night for me.
It was a long night for me.
It's
a long night for me.
Knocked out, man. It was great.
So Sarah's sister used to live in New York, and before she moved back here, she was talking to this guy, Mike. Dude was super cool. He flew out here last Wednesday or Thursday, something like that. So we hung out with them. I went and played badminton on Saturday. My Asian came out. I was a stud. Like,
I was just gonna say it's like a very Asian thing.
Dude, I was super good at it. It was so much fun. I know it sounds dumb, but dude, I had so much fun.
What is this, 9th grade PE?
I'm telling you, if you came out, that was the other thing, because you guys know I'm super competitive. And Sarah was talking shit the whole time. She was like, I'm really good, just so you know. Like, you're not going to be blah, blah, blah. Like, you're not going to be as good as you think you are.
Sarah, or were you playing teams or doubles?
It was me and Mike versus them two.
Oh, God.
And we beat them.
Where did that make sense, though?
They were like, we're really good. Like, their mom used to play badminton in high school, and she like went to the CIF finals or something like that. Like, so I guess it's in their blood, but they thought they were really good. So me and him played, and we beat them 2 games in a row, and then we felt bad, and we're like, we'll do a best of 5 series. And then they came back and beat us. But, I mean, like, at that point, we were over it, so.
Mm-hmm. So you lost.
But yeah, but the first games, I was like.
Reverse sweep.
The first games, I was just like, I'm going to show them what's up. But it was a good time. It was fun. Then, what was it? Monday, Tuesday or something like that. We all went out and played some arcade games, and I was crushing it.
Crushing it.
We went to the coin op. Yeah.
Which one? No, one over here?
No, we went to the one downtown. It has more games.
One's a better one for sure.
I think it was a lot of fun. We were playing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game. Is 4 players.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was on that game for like 10 minutes.
They got skee ball over there. They got the basketball hoops.
That was fun.
Was that DDR?
Yeah, we played DDR. They have this new game. It's Alien Invaders or Space Invaders, but it's a giant screen. So you sit in it and you have these cannons. And it's this huge. It's like the size of that wall.
Wow,
it's so much fun though. I was having a grand old time.
Dude, they didn't have the. They do actually have that there, the monster truck racing one.
Yeah, they have that one.
The one I know you love that one.
Dude, I was killing it on that one.
You were killing it the one time I went with you to Coin Up.
I think I won like 9 races in a row.
Yeah.
I was amazing. Yeah, it was good. But yeah, the Super Bowl was a good time though. I'm glad you guys came over and hung out for a little bit. I mean, the game itself was incredibly boring. Well, not like incredibly boring,
Yeah,
but
like defense. I wasn't upset about it. I just thought it wasn't what I was expecting.
that was the thing. It wasn't even like that good of like a defensive spectacle.
It was just punt after punt.
It wasn't amazing coverage. It wasn't like turnovers. I will say that the Patriots linebacking core showed up that game.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, if you look at it from the perspective, like, there was no big plays. Like, yeah, there wasn't any, like, spectacular defensive, like, you know, huge sacks or, you know, great coverage plays, you know, 3rd and 10, defense swats the ball away. Like, it wasn't like that. But to me, it was more of a chess match between Bill Belichick and Sean McVay. Yeah. And Belichick just came prepared. I mean,
well, McVay even said after the game, he was like, I got outcoached.
Well, definitely. I mean, anytime you lose a game, I mean, I feel like you're obviously, like, there's certain circumstances where you put yourself in a position to win, but in this case, the Rams they were never put in a position to win. So, I mean, I credit more if you're a fan of football and not just the big scores and just the whole concept of what football is, it was a great game to watch.
Yeah, I will say that, yeah, I agree with you that it wasn't like big defensive plays and all this other stuff. It wasn't high scoring like everyone thought it was going to be, but definitely it just seemed like that. I say that the Patriots D-line and linebacking just took the will out of the Rams offensive line. Because you saw in like the fourth quarter, I think Jared Goff got sacked, like he was rolling out, got sacked. Not a single lineman that was in the vicinity went to go help him up. Yep. Like, all just left him there. They're just like, we're done. Yep. Like, I don't want to, like, this game needs to be over. I'm done.
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest aspect for me was that in a year where we had teams like the Rams and the Chiefs who were just throwing up big numbers, and the Saints, it's the exact game that football needed, was a low-scoring defensive battle to remind people that defense is still relevant, in this arena league-ish game that they're turning it into, which, by the way, like, they were very lenient on all these roughing the passer calls. You didn't see any of them called. There's plenty of opportunities.
Hardly any flags thrown.
Yeah.
I like that, though.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, it was played very well. It was a well-disciplined game, which you would expect from the two teams playing the Super Bowl. But it's the game that the NFL needed, was to remind fans and everybody watching, like, we get that you like the 50 to 51 games, but defense is still relevant.
Well, I also thought it was interesting, how you just, like, you brought up, there wasn't any, like, roughing the passer calls when plenty of them could have been made and tons of flags could have been thrown, in certain circumstances. Yeah. And I think that shows how much the referees can influence a game. Oh, definitely. Because a play like that, of like a roughing the passer, then all of a sudden that gives them
the first, defense is supposed to be off the field, right?
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, defense can be off the field, but now they have to go back out there. Even the fact that it's like you make a mental mistake, that's usually what. Well, that's usually what roughing the passers are.
And the biggest thing about roughing the passer is that it's an automatic first down.
That's what I mean,
same thing with, like, defensive holding. And you did see the Patriots get flagged for one defensive holding, but it was definitely holding. Yeah. But it was 3rd and 15 or whatever it was, and it was an automatic first down. So, I mean, I get that the common people that just kind of watch football as not necessarily a hobby, but just because other people watch it.
Well, that's what the Super Bowl is.
It's boring. It wasn't a good game. Blah blah blah. And I get it, but from a football fan standpoint, it was a chess match, and it was fun for me to watch. I mean, you were wondering how each offense was going to come out and what they were going to try to do differently, and they did. They tried to do things differently, and it didn't work. Yeah. They tried to open up a play action on first down and incomplete pass. All right, the next time on first down, we're going to try to run the ball. 2-yard gain. The Patriots did a good job of keeping them behind the sticks and not allowing them. And I said it, going into the Super Bowl, they had to keep them below 3 yards of carry, or an average of 3 yards of carry, and that's exactly what they did, and they won.
Yeah.
So, I mean, shout out to me for throwing that out there. A little bit of football knowledge that I have.
There you go. But yeah, I mean, lowest scoring Super Bowl ended up being 13-3. One play in the red zone, you know, which is just
that big Gronk catch.
It's incredible to think about. And I'm so pissed because, you know, Julian Edelman ended up being the MVP. If Gronk just, you know,
got an
just pulls a Gronk and just gets himself in the end zone, Daddy's making out fat right now.
There's a couple other people that definitely deserve to look. Kyle Van Noy played a huge game. Dante Hightower on defensive side of the ball played a huge game.
I will say I can't believe it didn't go to a defensive player.
Yeah. I mean, he had a ton of catches. He did. And
well,
he had
10 for like 100 and something.
Edelman deserved it.
I mean, that's my only thing is like there wasn't a statistical dominant defensive player. It was a
team.
Yeah. So I mean, to me, it could have gone to Sonny Michel. I mean, he had the only touchdown in the game, but Julian Edelman played a much bigger factor in that than Sonny Michel did.
I mean, he had over 100 yards receiving, and
they were big catches.
Michel had like 15 carries for like 50 yards or something like that, right? Or
so is it anything in your guys' mind that Julian Edelman doesn't deserve it because he was suspended 4 games early in the season?
I don't know who is that who said that.
Dude, there's been a ton of people.
There are a ton of people have been saying that.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Super Bowl MVP is not a season award; it's a game award.
Really, exactly, it's a game award. No, I just like how Brandon's getting so upset. He's like, "Are you fucking serious?"
It pisses me off too.
No, when I heard it, I thought it was somebody just like trying to like joke around, being like, I want to say something that's extreme just to piss somebody off.
Look at fucking
what was it?
Andre Iguodala won the NBA Finals MVP. He's not even a fucking starter. It doesn't go to the person who was relevant all year. It goes to the player who had the best game.
Yeah,
and I think Julian Edelman had the best game.
I agree.
It definitely wasn't Tom Brady. He had a bad interception he threw in the first drive of the game. Didn't complete a ton of passes. They didn't try to stretch the field as well. If Gronk gets into the end zone, maybe we're talking about Gronk being MVP. But I mean, Julian Edelman was if you think about it, they didn't have very many yards, and he had the majority.
He had was it like 117 or something like that?
Whatever it was.
It was like 100 plus,
on like 10 catches. That's a lot of catches.
That's a lot of grabs.
And some of those were tough catches.
That damn punter though, man. If he would have been on the ballot, I would have voted for him.
Well, if the game ended without a touchdown, I wouldn't be surprised if he would have won it.
He wasn't on the ballot.
He was. Yeah, they didn't put the. They didn't put.
Really?
No,
I guess punters can't win it or something.
Yeah. It's crazy because he really did. He was.
He was the one that.
Who was it? Was it Hecker or the
Ryan Allen, the Patriots?
Ryan
kicker?
Allen. Hecker set the record for longest punt in Super Bowl history with like 7. It was like a 70.
And that was held by Ryan Allen previously.
Yeah. Ryan Allen played phenomenal. I mean, that dude had like 2 punts inside the 5, and he had a ton of other when it becomes a field position game, like the punter is so underrated because they flipped it.
The Patriots arguably have like the best special team like every year.
Gostowski plays horrible in Super Bowls though.
He does.
He missed that one against the Broncos, right?
Last year he missed an extra point and a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
Or it was it wasn't the Super Bowl, but it was the AFC Championship game. He missed that against the Broncos.
Yeah. And then he missed another field goal in this Super Bowl. Almost missed that one there at the end.
Yep.
He plays terrible in Super Bowls. I don't understand.
I don't get it either.
Why they're holding on to him still?
No. I mean, he's there. I mean, he
during the season he's still
he holds all their records, and they haven't lost because of him.
For a team, I feel like your nerves should be pretty calm. You're like, well, if I miss this kick, my team still got my back. So
plus it's like when you've been there that many years.
That's what I'm saying. You're like, you just like if I leave,
it's not a head case for him. I mean, he doesn't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
it's not a Nate Kading scenario.
But yeah, no, it was crazy. And I was listening. I listened to the Pat McAfee show, and he was talking about how punters really get a bad name because that's when you're turning over the ball. Technically, when the punter's out there, you're losing possession, so you don't want to see the punter out there. But to see him do his job so well and really change the game, but
it's not appreciated, just like a kicker isn't either. I mean, a guy kicks a field.
After the terrible punch by the Chargers a few years ago.
Yeah, but you kind of, for the most part, expect a kicker to hit anything inside of 40. You know, it's expected. You expect him to hit it 100% of the time.
I don't know. Maybe it's me being a Charger fan or ex-Charger
You've
fan.
seen me watch kickers, man.
Maybe it's me actually trying to kick field goals before, but it's extremely hard to kick a field goal.
No, for sure it is.
So it's like when I see him out there, it's like respect for you for doing this.
What I'm saying is like people take it for granted is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
And so,
but it's just the way people take, NBA players taking free throw shots. You're like, it's freeze in the name. You know what I mean? Like, how can you only be hitting
in that too? Yeah.
How can you only be hitting 40% or whatever?
Lonzo Ball.
Yeah, that's
terrible.
44%.
Literally
Lonzo.
What was your favorite commercial though?
I didn't really watch the commercials, to be honest.
I didn't really either, but I mean, I've seen the recap,
like
and
that
that
Anthony Lynn
NFL,
commercial.
the NFL one had to be, the Anthony Lynn one was incredible.
Yeah,
I like
that, and the NFL one was probably my favorite.
I like that
Yeah.
Amazon one with the dog.
The Amazon one was funny.
Yeah, it was funny.
With, like, Harrison Ford.
And the dog's like ordering all the dog food.
Well, I mean, I think the unanimous is the NFL commercial.
Oh, yeah.
That was just incredible to see.
Well, and, like, they fit in so many big
Names.
not just
Or,
the
like,
big names, but big moments. I mean, if you like go back and watch it, like they tip it back and Franco Harris scoops it up just like he did in the playoff game where they beat the Raiders. I mean, they fit in so many huge moments. LT was in it. They had actually a couple. Derwin James was in it. Ed Reed knocking him out. Like,
Yep.
it was crazy. I thought it was perfect.
I thought it was perfect too. I thought it was, yeah. But I also didn't watch a whole lot of commercials. The one I did see that was weird was that it's like the Burger King commercial or something with Andy Warhol.
Is that who that was? That was Andy Warhol?
Yeah. With like that abstractionist, whatever he is, that painter, artist guy or whatever. I was like, this was really weird. Made me uncomfortable.
I was watching it, I'm like, why would you put the ketchup on the side? He opened up his burger.
Because that was like, it's a joke on his artwork. Like, it's always out of the norm.
It's like you put the ketchup on the side and you opened up your burger and then put the lid back on, or the top back onto it.
It was like the joke of it, but yeah, it was weird. It was just weird.
It's like, what?
I didn't, yeah.
Anyways,
yeah.
Hall of
So
Fame?
we also had the Hall of Fame induction.
I don't even remember who I picked.
Don't worry, I wrote them down.
I know. I saw that I got 4 out of 5 right, so that's good.
So yeah, Ryan, you got 4 out of 5. So that means you have to do one shot.
Mm-hmm.
I got 4 out of 5, which means I have to do one shot. Brandon
he's got to do 2.
got 3 out of 5, so he has to do 2.
Who do we
I don't know. So, Ryan, you and I, we got Tony Gonzalez, Ed Reed, Champ Bailey, Ty Law. Brandon, you got Tony Gonzalez, Ed Reed, Champ Bailey. And then the ones that we missed were Pat Bolin, Gil Brandt, Kevin Mawai, and Johnny Robinson. I missed out on John Lynch, and then Ryan, you picked some lineman. I
think it was just out of.
Yeah, you were like, I'm playing the smart pick. Tony Baselli.
Oh, okay.
And then Brandon missed on Richard Seymour, and then Zach Thomas.
Zach Thomas,
you knew you were gonna.
He wasn't even a finalist.
Yeah, you knew you were gonna listen.
I just
lose on
felt
that
like
one.
he just deserved it, but
Apparently not.
yeah, apparently they don't agree with me, so they can suck it.
Yeah, so we got some shots to do, boys.
Sounds good.
We'll do it on the next podcast.
There we go. Let's see what else we got for football. That's really it. I mean,
Football's over.
Football's over.
Football's over. We got the draft in April. I'll be your guys' analysis for that. Bringing all the big name coverage for you.
That's why we love you.
That's right.
It's gonna be
Nick Bosa is supposed to go number 1 overall.
Yeah, man. Joey's little brother.
Where's he going?
I don't know, man. We'll see.
I feel like the Cardinals.
The Cardinals have number 1,
pick.
right?
I don't know. I don't think that this year, unless there's a team out there, maybe the Jets, maybe it could be the Raiders. They have enough picks to move up. I don't see a team moving up.
The Raiders
number
got like
1.
3 first-round picks, don't they?
Yeah, they're 2 really late ones though. I mean, the first-round pick's still a first-round pick, but it didn't work out in their favor like they wanted it to. I don't think there's going to be a lot of teams that are looking to move up to draft a defensive player when it's so defensively stacked this year. There's a lot of good talent from anywhere between 1 and 20 that you're picking. I would say even into the second round, there's going to be a lot of good defensive talent. So So I don't see a team trading assets to move up to the number 1 overall pick because there's not a top-heavy quarterback. Generally, that's the big takeaway. Haskins from Ohio State, he's going to be a guy that people are going to be giving looks at. Kyler Murray, we're still waiting to see on what he does. He's entered the draft, but he can still withdraw if he does decide to play baseball.
You wouldn't take him number 1
There's
overall.
people talking about it.
Dude, you know how the
NFL's
media
changing.
spins stuff.
Well, I mean, I said it last year, and pretty much every NFL analysis all said Baker Mayfield wouldn't go number 1 overall because of his height.
Yeah.
Isn't he Scott Boras' client too, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
Like, damn.
so we'll get into baseball, but Scott Boras is the busiest man in baseball right now.
Oh, hell yeah.
Unbelievable.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, and I mean, that's the thing is like it's football's changing. You don't need to be as tall anymore. You got to be a playmaker, and I think that's what teams are looking at. Again, the Cardinals drafted a quarterback in the first round, so they won't be taking a quarterback, I don't think.
I wouldn't.
But they do have a new head coach, so you never know. Maybe it's not his guy. But I could see them holding on to this pick. Maybe they pick Nick Bosa. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I was looking at just some mock drafts and stuff like that just because football's over. So I was like, let's just see. Yeah. We're so far out. It's just good to see, to see what's going on. And
I like to look at it, too, because I like to see like what range the Chargers players that potentially could be drafted. I remember last year I'm sitting there and I'm like, dude, there's no freaking way in hell Derwin James is going at 17. Like, they'd have to move up for him.
Yeah.
And he fell all the way to 17.
I mean, it's a weird year to be a Chargers fan because, I mean, it's always been earlier. Like, the past couple of years, it's been, like, sub
last year
10,
was
sub 12, and then last year was 17.
They've picked.
Now they're, like, 26? Yeah. So,
dang, that's, yeah.
Yeah. But
I mean, it was a good season for them, you know what I mean? And
that's the thing that sucks about, like, because they should have probably had a first-round bye, but
I think
they could have. They were, a win away.
Record-wise, they should have.
The Chargers have always picked well late, though. I mean, you look at some of the players that they selected.
They draft well.
They've
always drafted well.
Jason Barrett, Antonio Cromartie. You throw in Melvin Ingram he was a little bit higher than.
What about Larry English? God.
Anyways,
I was trying to think of a bad draft pick, and I was like, Larry English.
Manti Te'o.
Te'o was at least a second-round pick, though.
Well, sorry, I didn't know we were just going first round. I thought we were just going
first round's the one you're like,
that's true.
But you got to hit on your first rounders.
Yeah, that one.
When did DJ Fluker go? He was
a first round.
He was an early
top
pick.
15 pick.
Yeah.
He was a first round pick that year, I think, wasn't he?
Manti
Te'o
pick. Yeah,
and they got Keenan Allen that year too. No,
yeah, third round pick. Yeah,
that was
they've hit on a lot of. They hit on a lot of later picks too. That's the
Larry English one.
Yeah,
God.
I just remember
Ryan Allen, or not Ryan Allen. Ryan Matthews.
Oh God. Okay, let's not pick on all the bad ones.
Sorry. I was just trying to think
for the Chargers.
No, Ryan Matthews he wasn't. Had one really good year.
He had several good years. He had a lot of 100 or 1,000-yard rushing years.
Like 2 or 3 times with the Chargers.
I just remember him for coming into the Balboa 24 with his entourage, thinking he was like hot shit.
He was a douchebag. That's why I didn't like him. He had
a table at Bar West all the time.
Yeah.
He was like
passed out on the street all the time. Yeah.
Like, dude, no wonder you're fucking breaking every bone in your body.
Yeah.
He broke one collarbone, like one side of his collarbone, and then he broke the other in the same season. How do you do that?
Oh, effort.
Not training right.
Lack thereof effort. That's the key.
That's the key.
Yeah. No, but we'll see. It'll be an interesting draft. There's not a ton of huge names coming out this year, and those are the years where you can get depth, and I think that's going to be huge for a lot of these teams looking to make a push for a better playoff run. You look at a team like the Ravens, the Chargers. You see teams like
I think the Steelers are going to take a step back next year.
Well, yeah.
Well, definitely.
Steelers, Bengals are going to be trash.
They lost Le'Veon Bell for sure. And I know we weren't really going to talk about it. Antonio Brown wants out, and they're looking to move him. So.
And he just got in trouble for domestic violence issues.
Dude, did you hear about that?
Yeah.
I don't promote domestic violence at all. I think it's wrong. I think we're all on the same page with this. But if you're trying to leave a place and somebody's blocking the door, you're gonna try to like move them to the side to get around them, right? Like,
No,
let me
probably
out.
Not.
How are you gonna get out? What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I'm not very confrontational.
I'm just gonna be like, move. Let me
The
like.
biggest difference is you don't have millions and millions of dollars on the table.
If
You're
I
here,
ask,
move
I'll
here.
ask him first, and then after some point, I'm like, dude, get out of the way. Like
That's what I'm
and,
saying.
I'll push him a little bit, you know.
The thing is
Like,
there's-
I'm
But
just
like
like,
that just depends on how, you know, people are so sensitive now. Like
my only thing
it could be like touching him like this, and
Oh,
somebody will say,
that's
"Oh,
what-
he assaulted me,
Yeah.
pushed me," and like.
well, I mean, there's
they'll-
also been a lot of video evidence of people actually doing bad things. So
and that's
being,
what's the bad part.
being in a conversation of a domestic dispute is never a good thing. And when you're in the NFL, like these players got to get smarter. Like you have to realize that you're under a microscope at all times. That's your life. That's your career. That's what
Yeah.
you do. You know, your name is in the tabloids frequently for whatever it is that you're doing. And, you know, in situations like this, like people know who you are.
Yeah, it's just hard, but it's just hard because I'm sure that he did that of like, can you move? Like, no, just move, and then he like trying to put his arm on her like shoulder or something,
Yeah.
and then she fell over. It's like you who assaulted.
You
You
gotta
know,
be smarter than that. I mean,
I'm just saying, like he's a top wide receiver, and you're telling me you couldn't like put some shake and bake on her?
I feel like you can't always
Get the jukies out,
I
boy.
mean, you want to be on your A game at all times, but it's hard to keep your guard up all the time, dude.
I mean, there's thousands of players in the NFL that never get in trouble for
But
any
they're
of this
not
stuff.
like they're not focal points like Antonio Brown is, who's like constantly in the limelight.
You never see
No.
LaDainian Thomas in any of these things. You never see.
Yeah,
But the difference is that LT has a wife and a good person, and his wife is a good. I'm sure
He
Antonio Brown. They call it
You got
in a
wife?
report. In a report, it said his baby mama.
Oh well, maybe it's okay.
You know
but
what I
like-
mean? Like not even like ex-wife or like mother of his child.
And
They call him like a,
LT's not hanging out like clubs
Well,
and stuff.
okay, that's
too.
one
Well, it-
example.
no,
that
the-
you got, I'm
so
saying
the- so
there's tons of players out there that
Yes.
don't get in trouble for this.
And it's
So the
I
whole
mean,
dispute
So you're getting
was
paid to make sure that you're not getting in
yeah.
trouble.
So the whole dispute was it was his. They went to the barber shop. His daughter got a haircut. He didn't want to pay for the haircut.
'cause
He
the guy like screwed it up.
no. He just didn't want to pay for it. He was like, "You took her here. You pay for the haircut." And
Oh,
then
the
she
wife.
said, the wife was like, no, I'm not paying for it. You pay for it. And he was like, you wanted to get her haircut. You pay for it. And then she was like, no. And he was like, we're leaving. And then she blocked the door.
That is pretty stupid.
So like that was the whole dispute. And it was like,
Yeah, and that's my only thing. Is
it's
like,
done. And I get where you're coming from because I'm sure the haircut was like $30. You're a millionaire.
Yeah,
You could-
It's
like-
all circumstantial. Like I had Ezekiel Elliott's back with this whole damn thing when the girl was accusing him because it's all word of mouth. But it's like if you're in a public place and there's witnesses out there and there's people that are going to talk to people after this, like you have to know better. You have to know when to walk away.
Yeah, but they don't have that mentality.
No, and
That's the thing.
and
That's the issue.
And I mean, it sucks because
And that's why players like Des Bryant's got a babysitter.
well, and like Brandon was saying, like it sucks to have to like be on guard all the time. But when you're being paid millions of dollars
yeah.
to play a game, and they expect you to be out there on Sundays. Well, obviously it's a little different with the Steelers because you don't really know if they want to be out there on Sundays. But you have like, especially in situations like this where it's like we're arguing about a haircut right now.
Yeah.
Like it's not like some chick was standing at the door like calling him racial names and things like that and really getting his blood boiling. It's like you push her out the door because you didn't want to pay for her haircut.
That's what I mean, dude.
$30 might cost you $10 million next year, buddy.
He could have put the jukies on her. Like, come on now, you're quick as hell. Anyways, it's the getting to some baseball. It's the Padres' 50th anniversary.
nice.
We were kind of talking about going to opening day
Opening
this year.
day.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Enrique, for those tickets, man. It
That's
Okay.
right.
clutched up every time, like
He's the man, dude.
old reliable.
Yeah,
so we call him
faithful,
all reliable.
man. We've got a pretty good streak going.
Yeah. So I was listening to Buster Olney. I listened to his podcast, and he was saying, I think it's the Reds. It's their 150th anniversary, and they're doing something like 16 jerseys this season,
That's cool.
like throwbacks. And I was like, that's really cool. And
Yeah.
he started it off by saying, a team really only changes up their jersey if one, they're going through ownership changes, or two, they're trying to shake off a losing streak. And I was like, man, that's really interesting that you say that because
the Padres just
the
did.
Padres are, well, they're not they're waiting till next year to change up their jerseys in 2020 when they
So they're
expect to be
we're
good.
okay with sucking this year.
Exactly. And I was like, but this would have been a perfect opportunity to 50th anniversary, bring it back. Like,
They still mix it up anyways, so we do a pretty good job.
They got
mixing
tons
up-
of different options.
Yeah, we mix up jerseys
Yeah.
all the time. I do like the.
Yeah.
I know you're not a big fan of it, but I do like the brown and gold. I feel like
No,
that's.
I like those. I just don't know if I'm fully on board for an everyday. But like I said,
that's what and I agree with that.
I'm waiting to see what the whites look like.
I do like the. Like I think we're all in agreement that the '98 jerseys.
Oh, those are my favorite.
Yeah, those are
those three jerseys are their best jerseys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The pinstripe, the blue, and I guess blue and what is that, white or
white,
blue?
yeah, blue
Yeah.
and white.
And then the sand, or is like sand. It's gray and what is that? Gray and
Brandon, do you not know your colors?
no. I'm trying to.
98 was blue and orange.
I'm
Yeah,
trying
it's
to
blue and orange.
visualize it. No, the away one is like it's gray and then it says San Diego, but I can't remember what
That
the
was a
lettering
different
is.
year. That was
No, that's
the Petco.
98. That's the 98 road jerseys. The blue is
No,
the
that
blue
was
is
like
the alternate. Yeah, it is. I bet you $100 it is.
'cause in my mind, I'm thinking of like the early 2000 one
the
that are
gray
gray
one.
with like the blue,
It's
the blue
it's
the blue trim that says San Diego.
the gray one that says San Diego across.
That's-
That's 98. That's their road jerseys.
I'm thinking like early 2000s.
I'm looking it up now.
Look it up.
Go ahead. If it's not 98, it's 99.
But I just thought it was funny that it was the Padres' 50th anniversary this season, and instead of like doing some kind of like
Those are the
throwback thing,
98s.
Yeah, like that. The gray one.
That's
Let
for
me see.
sure orange and blue.
No, the gray one.
yeah, the gray one is orange, and the writing is blue.
Yeah, it's blue and orange.
Okay. This
I
one
was-
here- This one's it, and this is also
That's
it.
not a... Yeah, that's blue and orange.
Yeah, but the lettering is different. That's what I was trying to figure out what color the lettering was, but
The
it's
lettering
gray.
is blue and orange.
Yeah, so it's gray, but it's got blue and orange lettering.
Oh, I thought you were
That's-
talking about their like. Do you remember when they first moved to Petco? whatever
That's
it
that's
was?
the one I'm thinking of.
Oh,
It was
no,
the-
no.
That's. I thought you were. I was like, you like those jerseys?
That's what I was thinking
I
of.
like that one too.
No, those are. These are good.
Those are the three jerseys, though.
Yeah, the
That's what-
pinstripe, the gray with the blue and orange writing, and then the solid blue with the white piping.
That's what I was talking
Yeah,
about.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
just-
just like I want to look at the other ones now too because it was like 2003 or something like that.
Yeah, all I remember is Jake Peavy started. There was like opening day. Jake Peavy was wearing that jersey, and I was like, "Damn it, why did they go with these?"
Yeah,
No, those were
terrible.
ugly, dude.
Yeah, I was like, "Come
Those were
on."
terrible.
No,
These ones, oh my gosh,
the jerseys haven't been that good since we moved to Petco, in my opinion. But
those jerseys, those were atrocious.
oh yeah, that's that series.
Oh, let me see that one.
The sand
Oh
ones.
yeah.
Even like their grays were like light brown.
They don't even sell a good jersey of those anymore. Like they're all the weird like batting cage ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the batting practice ones.
And you're like, man, come on.
Dude,
You're-
it's sad
you're better
that
than
the
that.
98 jerseys are the best ones, and that's like 20 years ago.
I mean,
Yeah.
it could just be our opinion because that's when we kind of grew up
I don't
and we
know,
were
man.
excited about the Padres.
I don't know anybody who likes those jerseys. I've
I've
never.
never met anybody like those ones either. Those
I don't
were
even. I'm
bad.
sure they're out there though.
And they went away fast.
They went away quick. Oh man, but
Well, it's in a constant flux of jerseys. I feel like with the Padres.
Oh, they feel like they've changed them up every year because they went to the yellow and blue.
yeah. Well, they've got a lot of color combos and a lot of things that they could do.
It's
I
like
don't
what
know.
you said. They've been trying to mix it up to shake
Yeah.
off the losing, and it hasn't worked.
Too much.
But yeah, hopefully we'll turn it around. I don't know if we covered it last week. We touched on it a little bit, but the Padres meeting with Machado,
No,
or I mean with Harper,
Harper.
and they're in talks with Machado. I know we'll talk about all this other stuff, but Dallas Keuchel is also represented by
Scott Boras.
Scott Boras. Do you think his name was brought up in any way during those meetings? Like,
I've heard Dallas Keuchel to the Padres a couple times
Yeah.
too,
I could
along
see
with
that one
Marwin
happening.
Gonzalez and.
I could see those two happening before Harper or Machado. I think that the Padres meeting with Harper is speeding up the process for these other teams to start, getting a sit down with Harper. Now you saw the Giants met with him the other day. There's been rumors that the Yankees are still not ruling it out completely. Even though I know they're trying to stay under the luxury tax and they got some big bills to pay still.
You see the agents build bonds with GMs, and we saw last year with Eric Hosmer signing with the Padres. They've already kind of built that rapport with one another. You see it with even basketball with Paul Allen.
Oh, definitely.
AD and LeBron James trying to get them to team up in LA. It's just
definitely. I mean,
agents want the players on the same team. Almost.
Oh, definitely. It makes their job easier, and when you're representing so many big name athletes, the more people that you get in during that process, the better off you're gonna be long term. The more games they win, the more money you get, essentially. And that's from advertising and all these things. I don't know, man. I feel like the Padres.
So, okay, with the Padres meeting with Harper and all this talks with Machado and all this stuff, do you think that the Padres are just trying to come in and be vultures? I know we all listen to sports talk radio, and the Padres have just been getting trashed with these talks they're never getting Machado, they're never getting Harper, they're just coming in for the scraps for the sale and all this stuff. But do you see a real possibility of the Padres offering a short-term deal, a 2 or 1, 2, maybe 5-year deal to one of these guys?
I definitely think there's a possibility they're making that offer, but I don't think that there's a possibility that they're taking it.
You don't think that there's any chance that they sell them on a 3-year of we're bringing guys up? Can you do a 3-year? If we're good, we'll re-sign you for a player a player-friendly contract.
I could see them trying to do what they offered Eric Hosmer last year, where it was 8 years and then have a player option for the final 3 years of the deal to see if he wants to pick it up. And if he wants to, he can pick it up and collect more money through free agency.
I just think the money's not there for that contract.
I agree with. I think that this is such a heavy process going on with Major League Baseball, because you're seeing these big organizations that don't want to fork out the money for one individual player. And then you have a team like the Padres who's in a perfect situation to sign a player, like a Machado or Harper, even going after a Dallas Keuchel, because they don't have a lot of money invested in these younger players that are still in arbitration. And I think that's what scares baseball. And they're saying, okay, well, now that the Padres are in the mix, you're going to start seeing some big offers. Does Bryce Harper want to play in Philadelphia? Does Manny Machado want to play in Philadelphia? And if you sign both of them, we're obviously going to get into it, but they just traded for JT Realmuto, who has an expiring contract. He's, you got to get a big contract after this year.
Yeah.
So now you're in the books with 3 huge contracts, and we all know how baseball works. Come trade deadline, you're moving around for pieces that you need to succeed, because it's all about wins above replacement. What players can we add to add more wins to get us a better seed in the playoffs? And I don't think, even for the Phillies, that signing either of these guys makes any sense.
No, I agree. I think
that was very well said.
I think we're, especially seeing a lot of the cold stove now, I think we're trending towards maybe a player lockout pretty soon, because these young guys they're getting taken advantage of. And you look at Aaron Judge is making $500,000 a year, and he's hitting 50, almost 60 home runs a year.
Yeah, definitely. And then he's going to be in the same situation soon. And the Yankees will pay him.
Well, no, they for sure will. And you're seeing some of these teams like the Rockies, showing good faith, giving Nolan Arenado that fat year buying out his arbitration. But
it doesn't bode well with players.
I feel like it.
Not every team's like that.
The teams have so much control over these young superstars, which they should benefit early on. But at some point, you're like, okay, you got your 3 years of team control, getting the guy for a good deal. But after that, the arbitration years, I think it should be a restricted free agency or something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Where you have a chance to match whatever somebody else is willing to offer before they leave in free agency.
And I think too that you can't blame the GMs and the owners for looking at these bad contracts that baseball's made over the years, and seeing how much that costs them to have these players who end up ultimately not playing what their contract shows that they should be playing at, or playing to a level that their contracts say they should be playing at. So now you're in a situation where people are like, okay, Giancarlo Stanton making $30 million a year. Do we want to pay a player that much now?
Yeah.
Do we want to sign a player well into his 30s? And I get it. You don't. It doesn't make sense. But you already did it. So now, and like Brandon's saying, like it's going to lead to a player lockout eventually because you've already shown them the money, and now you're taking it away.
Yeah, I think
they only get one real big contract, to be honest.
It's just hard though, like with young players, because we use the term prospect just because it's like you don't know what they're going to turn out to be. Yeah. It's hard to develop at a major league level for baseball. You see tons of players that kill it. Austin Hedges is a perfect example. Kills it in the minors, AAA ball. He's an all-star stud athlete. Comes up to the majors, and the guy really, his batting average drops in the low 200s. Like he can't. That's what I mean. So
and I think the issue now is you're looking at two players in specific with Manny Machado and Bryce Harper, who came up, when they were 20. They've been in the league for 6 years.
Yeah,
and they're in the prime of their career, finally available, to.
And they're finally trying to cash out.
Yeah, and now you're having teams that are not wanting to show them the money. So
and they have earned it.
Definitely,
too.
They definitely have.
Yes,
and that's the problem. They have to wait so long to cash in on their payday after killing it. And a lot of these teams are getting the best talent, like their best years, at a discounted rate. And then the teams that are shelling out the money aren't getting their prime.
I think that the biggest issue that you're seeing with this, though, is, if you look at a player like Aaron Judge, or you look at a player, who's the other guy? Other big young guy, Mookie Betts. Players that are younger. They're already
Lindor.
They're already, not so much with them. What I mean is that when they're brought up in a big market team. Chris Bryant was the other one, sorry.
Okay, yeah.
And so those teams are going to pay those players. They brought them up. They've already been the face of their franchise. They have the money at this point. Now we're going to show out the money. The problem is the Nationals, they have the money. They had the money to give, but it's not as big of a market for baseball. Baltimore Orioles, same thing. Obviously he gets traded to the Dodgers. The Dodgers...
Holy shit. A car crash. Sorry about that, everybody. We're recording over at Brandon's house, and there was just a hit and run outside of his house, and this car got fucked up.
Both those cars.
Both those cars. The truck looked like it came by, it had to sideswiped. Sideswiped one car, pushed it into another car, and then they just took off. But
yeah,
that was loud. We could hear it all the way from in here.
Oh, look at the owner's out for one of the cars.
Should we go out there and see?
I think the other dude's kind of like setting him up right now. Damn, that fucking sucks for him. You want to take a break?
We could take a break. We can go see. All right, we're back. Okay. So, Ryan, as you were saying.
So, wrapping back up what I was saying. Some of these players are already on these big market teams where they're going to get their money. You see an issue with Bryce Harper, Manny Machado, and those teams that aren't already in big markets. Now they're hitting free agency for the first time in their career. They're 26 years old. They have in the prime of their career, and now you're in a situation. And I've said it before. The big 5 teams out there. The Dodgers, the Astros, the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Cubs. They don't need them, and those are the teams that are going to pay for them. So now you're looking at a team like the Phillies, who has money to spend, or the White Sox that have money to spend, but do they want to play there is the biggest question. I mean, if you guys were professional baseball players and at one point, you got to, hit the market and the only offers you had were from the Phillies and from the White Sox, I'll probably be listening to other offers.
Definitely.
We saw with the Royals, man. They got gutted by even us. I mean, somehow we got Eric Hosmer was one of their top picks, and Moustakas left, and all their studs that they drafted and developed, they couldn't afford them once they came free agents.
And that's a World Series champion team. I mean, it's hard, and that's the thing is it's situational in baseball, and that's why I've always felt like there needs to be some sort of regulation on the salary cap. There needs to be some sort of regulation on the contracts, like Brandon was saying, and they have. to figure out a way to get these players their money, because we're sitting in a year now where we've watched Alex Rodriguez and Albert Pujols and Giancarlo Stanton get these massive contracts, and Bryce Harper and Manny Machado are still, it's February now. We're mid-February, and they're not on a team.
Yeah.
Or beginning of February.
You have to be great for 6 full years before you're eligible to hit free agency.
And so much can happen in 6 years. We've seen it.
And yeah, exactly. You could.
Well, you look at what Machado's overcome in those 6 years. You know what I mean? He's gone through knee surgery. He's gone through, ankle injuries and stuff like that, and he's still come back and shown out and shown how he's a top level player.
And he doesn't want to take a short term deal. He doesn't want to take 5 years. He wants to max out the rest of his
That's
career.
why prospects are worth so, like, top tier prospects are worth so much now.
And that's even the thing too. You know what I mean? It's like there's got to be some kind of regulation put into play, and they're even trying to, as a new rule, propose that for teams that tank or not. But you look at teams holding out like the like Vlad Guerrero Jr., how they're who hasn't the Reds have him?
The Toronto Blue Jays.
The Blue Jays. Yeah, they had like the Blue Jays have him, and instead of bringing him up last year, which they definitely could have done, they hold him down for another year of control.
Yeah.
When it's like you're taking a year out of, development for a player just so you can have another year of control.
Well, they only have to wait like a month.
Yeah.
But
even still, it's like, you know what I mean? They're just trying to retain these guys as long as they can.
I bet you Tatis, if that rule doesn't go into effect, Tatis starts at shortstop at the beginning of the year, opening day for the Padres. If that rule wasn't in effect,
and that's another great example. Tatis, the Padres are going to hold him out so they can have another year of control under their belt, so that they can have more money or more.
And that's
play.
exactly the point I was going to bring up, because, and like Brandon said, that's why prospects are so valuable. Because if you can have a player like Carlos Correa come in and be a huge player in your franchise, it allows you the flexibility to go after a Justin Verlander or AJ Cole, I think was the other.
Garrett Cole.
Garrett Cole. Allows you to pay these players like Jose Altuve with the ability somewhere down the line to pay Carlos Correa as well. So, I mean, it's messed up to a standpoint. And I just feel bad for these two players in specific. And obviously, they're going to get their money from somebody.
And they're getting fat. And I don't really worry about them. I worry about the Keuchels, the other guys who are
waiting it out, because these guys have to set the market.
Exactly.
And that's how it always works. If we were talking about a couple players, not as, Will Myers of the world, or,
somebody the mid-level players.
Still
mid to
players.
high.
You're like Justin Upton, that was another huge one. Like those players, they're fine because they're middle of the road. Somebody's going to sign a contract, but these are two of the top 4 players in all of baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it sucks. Getting back into the whole conversation, I think that's why the Padres have an opportunity, and I think that's why they look appealing to some of these big name free agents, because they know they can get their money right now.
I will just say though, like $30 million a year, that's a shit ton of money. Like,
Oh,
I know,
definitely.
I'm not saying that they're not worth it just because of that's where the market's at. I'm just saying, like, the market seems extremely high.
Yeah, but there's the
Just in-
profitability for these owners and stuff too.
Yeah, no,
It's
I mean,
there,
yeah.
and I don't
It's
worry
there.
about those two guys because those are like the 1%ers. I worry about the other guys underneath
Marwin
them.
Gonzalez, or
Yeah.
I just saw Freddie Galvis sign for like a dirt contract, and I thought I was just
He's
surprised.
not worth. Yeah, he's worth way more than that.
Yeah, I thought he was worth
his
more
glove
than that.
alone.
Yeah, his gloves he's a stub. I thought the Padres got a decent deal with Kinsler, but I thought Galvis signed for an even better deal, you know, or more team friendly deal.
I think Kinsler's hits better than Galvis.
Yeah, but I mean, aside from the point, those guys deserve a decent contract, and is really Bryce Harper and Machado that much better than them? Like 10 times better than them?
When you look at it from that point, well, I mean,
You want to pay for the top tier guys. Those are the 1%ers. And
think
I'm not saying they
Yeah.
don't deserve to get paid 1% money, but what I'm saying is they're
I think that the biggest difference, though, in that retrospect, is like Freddie Galvis doesn't put people in the seats.
no, for sure, and he doesn't. And that's one of the reason why Padres are in the market for Harper. But what I'm saying is the other guys deserve to get paid
definitely.
too.
They definitely
Yeah,
do.
It's
And
not
like,
just the 1%ers.
Yeah, and it's like that's what the big thing that it comes down to is like if you sign one of these two players, you know, your ticket prices are going to go up, your jersey sales are going to go up, everything's going to go up. And like we've been saying, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win the big game. And I think that the Phillies being in the mix for both of these players is the worst thing that their franchise could do. If you sign both these players and handcuff yourself to that much cash, it allows you no flexibility to go out and sign pitching when you need it. And like I said in like previous podcasts, what about injury? Not to these two players, but injuries outside of these two players. When trade deadline comes and you have to move pieces around to fill positions that you need, you're handcuffed.
Yeah, and I mean, if anything, that's bad for baseball at that point because you see these all-star athletes. I mean, I think Mike Trout, clearly we've said is like that we're watching the best baseball player in front of our eyes.
Yeah,
Potentially, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like him being on a team like the Angels is bad for baseball in the sense of you just see this talent kind of wasting
season
away.
Ends in September.
That's what I mean. It's like you don't see him in the postseason. You don't see him making these, you know, amazing moves for baseball. So it'll be interesting. I know baseball does also get a lot of flack because they're not as flexible like the NBA in the sense of how they structure contracts, or even the NFL, how they do with rookie contracts, or, you know, the NFL changing rules to be protecting certain players. Baseball doesn't really make a lot of rule changes. There's a couple that are on the table right now in these owner meetings that are going on, and I just wanted to bring them up. I think the most interesting one for me is going to be the universal DH.
Well, that's a given. We all want that.
We all want that.
We definitely, Padres specifically, really need that.
I think
baseball needs it.
I think this helps contracts like Machado and Harper in the sense of you can open up another roster spot for these guys. The Padres
Creates
are
jobs.
It creates jobs. Padres are a perfect
Extends
example.
careers.
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani could have gone to a National League team last year.
Yeah.
Perfect
He didn't
example.
because
he didn't have a DH spot.
And I think it gives the American League an advantage over the
Extremely
National
unfair
League.
advantage.
So I was looking at some other statistics and stuff, and the average runs for the National League was like 14.4, and the American League was 14.5. So in reality, they're very close, even though the American League
It's
has a
different baseball
DH.
games, but yeah.
I know different baseball games, but I'm just saying, like, this is what changes and makes the National League so much stronger.
Oh, definitely.
Because you look at last year postseason, we all said it. We're like, you know, American League's winning it, but that race is coming down to it. Is it going to be the Yankees? Is it going to be the Red Sox? Is it going to be the Astros that's going to beat, you know, the Dodgers or, you know,
we were thinking
one of the three
best
teams.
were out in the American League. Like,
Yeah.
That's what I'm
three
saying.
of the top whatever.
Definitely.
And I think it's the extra bat that really changes
Yeah.
that.
Well, and kind of circling around, because, I mean, there's a ton of different rule changes on the table. I think that the DH actually helps improve the, you know, pace of play. Because if you think about what happens when you're changing pitchers in the National League, you know, you're trying to move pitchers around based off of when you have to use your, you know, pinch
Like,
hitters and things like that. If you have the DH in there, it allows you to, you know, warm up your pitchers, allows you to know who you're going to be throwing in. You know, if for some reason, you know, you get 2 outs in the inning and your number 8 hitter's up and he gets a base hit, it's like, crap, well, now I have to pull my pitcher.
Yeah, now we have to go through a pitching change.
Exactly, and those are things that slow down the game. The pitching changes always slow down the game. So I think that just incorporating that will help speed up a little bit of the baseball game alone.
It's definitely the older generation, and at some point we're trending towards that, but I don't know if it's coming anytime soon. Definitely not this next year, but me personally, I would love to see the DH in the National League. I think it just needs...
I think it needs to be uniform.
Yeah, uniformal, because I think that definitely the American League has an advantage there, and you're going to roster somebody who can just hit.
Well,
and
I think
in
it
the
makes
National League,
like...
you're not going to, because you know that they need to play in the field somewhere.
But it also helps these like older contracts like we were talking about, like the Cano signing. We were all like, dude, he's going to be playing well into when he's like 38.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that doesn't make sense.
I know the bat can hold up, but I don't think his glove will.
Exactly. Joey Votto is another guy that I think of is like in that
David
signing.
Ortiz, and that, I mean, the biggest reason his career was extended was because there's a designated hitter position.
Yeah, I mean, tons of players.
Which he killed towards even at the end of his career.
Definitely.
Some of the other interesting ones, the minimum 3 batter rule for relievers.
There's no way in hell that will ever happen.
So
by the way,
I hate that rule. When somebody brought it up, I was just like,
I think
to me, that's such a like baseball is so much fun to watch because it's a chess match.
Yeah, definitely.
You sit there as a coach and you're like, okay, we have a guy that can't hit lefties throwing junk, putting this guy in there. We can't hit, you know what I mean? Righties that throw over 90, get him in there.
Yeah, no, it's stupid.
I just think I look at that and I'm like, there's always going to be some pitcher who's going to say that he has an injury or something else that's going to cause him that he has to get pulled.
Is very
He's
unlikely.
like, yeah, my arm hurts, so I got to get pulled out now. They're not going to force the guy to pitch to 3 batters.
Yeah. So Ryan, you talked about how like pace of play with the DH. Do you think that this would really speed up the pace of play for baseball?
No,
And
it doesn't.
Yeah,
I
no.
do like the 20-second pitch count. I
that was another one that was
definitely
proposed.
help.
yeah.
And they tested that last year in spring training.
Yeah, I definitely think 20-second pitch count would speed up the game of baseball. But to what extent? That's my biggest thing. Is like, you talk about mound visits and how many mound visits you can have, how much time you can take in between a pitch, and that you have to think long term about how it affects the total game of baseball. And some pitchers do play mind games with people, and they take a long time to get set on the mound. And I don't hate the 20-second rule because it does help speed that process up a little bit, but it definitely favors the batter.
Yeah. I mean, another statistic I'm going to throw at you guys is last season, relief appearances lasting less than 3 batters was down to 14.1%. So that's not very, you know what I mean? That's not that's a very small sample size
85%
of pitchers that come out. Yeah.
yeah.
Another one that I thought was just ridiculous, and I don't even know why it was an idea, is lowering the pitching mound.
Yeah, it's stupid too.
That's dumb. I mean, what are they trying to do? They're just trying to keep the batter's eye level.
Yeah.
So it's easier to hit the ball. I didn't get that one.
Yeah.
Also, they had the trade deadline moving before the All-Star break.
I actually like that one.
I like that one.
Yeah.
I think because it gives it forces people's hand before the All-Star game. The whole week of the All-Star game is just another meeting for the GMs and everything to get together.
Exactly.
And I think that if you do that beforehand, it forces moves, and it actually requires good general managing from your organization, other than we got to see this guy at the All-Star break and he's actually running a little bit slow right now, so we're actually going to hold off.
Or like, hey, let's go winding down
before it too, though.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you're more likely to go all in on a guy if you're going to have him for more than 2 months.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna swing a deal going all in for a year for one player who's on a rental, which is generally the guys who are on the market at that time.
Yeah.
You're more likely to do it if you have them for 70 games or whatever, 80 games, however many games it would be.
Yeah. This one was also interesting to me as it was going to be brought up or proposed is draft benefits for teams that win and penalties for teams that lose.
That's stupid too.
Do you guys think that would be beneficial for the league? Or in my eyes, it seems like it could hurt teams that are, bad on accident, like, the Padres have been.
I don't think people tank in baseball. Like, I really don't think that's a real thing.
I think it's the opposite. I mean, you look at the Cubs. The Cubs tanked for a couple of years, and then when they finally
suck, dude.
But it's like when they finally decided to turn it on, then they go to a World Series.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean? Like they tanked for a while. They got good draft picks and prospects.
There's no such thing as a sure thing, though. So, like,
I get that.
How many rounds there are in baseball?
That's kind of what my thought is.
And the fact that like some of these dudes that are getting drafted in the first round are in high school as well. I mean, there's really there's no gain in losing in baseball.
But at the same time, it's like you look at how highly touted we have Urias and Tatis in the sense of. Urias played half a season last year, and he was so, you know what I mean, and we're so excited for him. Tatis hasn't played a lick of Major League Baseball, and we just can't wait. A player like that on another team is a trade piece for a team that is looking to win now.
Those guys were both international signings, so neither of those guys were drafted. So.
I'm just saying that like players like that. I'm not saying that exact situation. I'm just saying
most of these guys, there's multiple ways to draft and develop a team. You can trade off pieces. I guess you can tank that way, but like,
and out of the top 100 like prospect list, like it's not a huge difference between number 50 and number 100.
Yeah.
Like it's not like in football you see like a team tanks like all right we're trying to go after the best quarterback in the draft. That to me is a little bit different than baseball where it's like you could draft a pitcher or you could draft an infielder, you could draft an outfielder, you could draft a catcher.
You could draft a NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
Like Russell Wilson.
I mean
like the Padres when they
tanking
drafted him
in
like
baseball,
the 60th round.
Johnny Manziel.
Johnny Manziel.
It doesn't benefit you right away.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
and even then, like you said, it's not a guarantee.
You're not guaranteed. And we've seen it. I mean, how many of these first-round picks just never show up in Major League Baseball?
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
I think
agree,
it's
yeah.
like something like 70-something% of them.
Yeah, most of them don't.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that it's necessary. I think if any sport needs to talk about tanking, it's freaking basketball.
Basketball, yeah, basketball's the biggest for sure, and then football, then baseball. In my opinion, I don't really think teams.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I agree
think
with you
teams
guys.
trade off good pieces for young assets.
Yeah.
But there's no teams that are like going into the year like, I want to lose a bunch of games so I get the first pick in the draft.
And I think you get better prospects from drafting. I think that you look at a team, we saw it with the Padres when they went after Matt Kemp, Justin Upton, James Shields, all these big name guys. And then we turn around and we traded them off for prospects. Now those prospects are flourishing in our farm system. You get better prospects once you've seen how they're developing. So to me, it's more about what pieces you have in your organization, and then a team, like the Dodgers or the Yankees or the Red Sox that wants to take advantage of those, they're going to give you their better prospects. So I think that's where the better prospects come into play.
Yeah, I agree. The other two that are kind of odd are expanding the roster to 26 players with the 12 pitcher minimum. Thought that was interesting. And then the last one was, I'm going to deem it the Kyler Murray rule, which is a regulation for two sport athletes so that they can sign a major league deal but still venture out if they want to. I thought that was interesting. We'll see where that goes. I know we haven't done it in a while.
A rare exception, but
yeah, but we could see it in the future being more prominent. I don't know. We haven't done it in a while, but I have some fantasy and reality for you guys.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
So first was the Padres sign Harper. Starting opening day, we have Myers in left field and Manuel Margot getting the nod in center field. Fantasy reality.
I'm leading off.
Go for it.
Okay, I'm going to go reality here. And you want to know why?
Yes.
Padres ownership group cannot stand this PR blunder that they'll be in if they don't sign. If not Harper, someone of Harper's caliber like a Machado or somebody else of that caliber. We saw that Kevin AC article where they basically said everyone up in arms over ownership making all this money and not necessarily putting the money right back into the team immediately, and we're all just watching a bad product, and we've been experiencing losing seasons over and over again. I just feel like they have to make a move here. They have the cap flexibility. They can obviously bring on Bryce Harper or somebody of Bryce Harper's caliber, like a Manny Machado. I think it's a reality. I think they're going all in.
All right. I want to also get your guys' reality fantasy on the fact is if Harper is starting, that those are the other two guys that are going to be in the outfield with him.
Okay, then I would disagree in that regard. So I would say that portion would be a reality. I think if they are going to go for him, they probably got to find a way to unload Will Myers' contract, because you're not going to keep on that 22, 23, whatever million a year that Will Myers is going to be making.
Yeah.
Unless you just dump his contract somewhere. You're going to have to dump it somehow. Because
Right.
otherwise you're not going to have any cap flexibility moving forward. If you bring on Harper, you're pretty much capped out. You're like, well, we're going to be around 115, 120 million,
Yeah.
which is about league average, which is what the Padres, I think, should be at.
But they haven't been in a while.
They've
So.
never been there. But
Oh, yeah, sorry. Close to, sorry.
But we should be there. I think we should be league average if we plan on contending for a World Series at some point, or at some point down the line.
Ryan, what do you think?
Brandon, I hope you're right, but I'm going fantasy. I don't know. I just am refusing to get my hopes up on it, I guess. I know that it's a slow off season, and things can happen, and like I said earlier, that the Padres have the financial flexibility to go out and sign a player like Bryce Harper. I think when push comes to shove, he's probably going to want to be on more of a contending team. If he sees an opportunity to go to a team that's going to be contending sooner than the Padres, then he'll definitely take that opportunity. So with that being said, it would be fantasy and fantasy.
All right. My other one is Logan Allen.
We didn't hear yours.
Oh, sorry. I think that it's fantasy that we're going to sign Harper, but if we do, I think it's reality that Myers and Margot get the start.
So you got fantasy and fantasy too.
Well, fantasy, and if it's reality, then reality. Fantasy and reality. I'm doing a little bit of both.
So it's reality if we flip Myers. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying it's...
No, he would say Myers would still be on our team.
Yeah, I'd say Myers would still be on our team opening day. He'd get the start. My other one is going to be Logan Allen and Cal Quantrill outshine the veterans in spring training, and they get a starting spot in our rotation. Ryan, start us off.
I'm going to go reality on this one based off the fact that we haven't signed any pitchers yet. So they might not have to beat out very many people.
I'm gonna go fantasy on this one. I do like Logan Allen. However, Cal Quantrill has not been throwing it down in the minors. I think he is one of our more overrated prospects. His ERA in the minors is like around 5. I don't know why he would suddenly do well in the majors all of a sudden.
Year of growth, year of strength. I don't know.
He has continually trended downwards as a top prospect. He's not even listed in the top 100, and he was originally like a top 50 prospect. Yeah. So he is. I would say it's a fantasy on him, but Logan Allen has done extremely well in the minors. And I think he'd be pretty polished. But if I was picking if it was just Logan Allen, I'd probably say it's a reality.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat as you, Brandon. I definitely seen it being a reality just because, like you said, Ryan, there isn't a lot of competition.
If they sign a couple free agent pitchers,
then it is. But
if Dallas Keuchel, for sure, it's fantasy.
For sure, it's fantasy. But at the same time, I think anything can happen in spring training. People can have good days and shine. I think at some point, both of these guys are making an appearance, though. This year. So.
This is the year they're I think they'll both be on the Padres roster opening day.
Yeah. That was really all I had for fantasy and reality. I'm really excited though for baseball.
Yeah, definitely. Me too.
I can't wait.
I'm ready for these fucking dudes to sign, man. I'm just over it.
We were watching Moneyball before the podcast.
I didn't even want to talk about it until they fucking sign somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just over it.
So I was like,
I think everyone is.
I've just been on my phone, and Sarah's like, "Why are you on your phone so much?"
Bryce Harper, and I go, try to watch.
I'm just on Twitter, and as I said that, I saw somebody else tweet. My wife keeps asking me, "Why are you always on your phone? Put your phone down." And he goes, "I'm not putting my phone down until Harper or Machado signs somewhere." Dude, and I was like, seriously. I felt that.
I swear to God, if either of them sign, if Machado signs with the White Sox, I'm like, good riddance. Fine, whatever. Go end your career with the freaking White Sox. But like, if Bryce Harper signs with the White Sox, I'll be pissed.
Yeah.
I feel like don't sleep on the Yankees, man. I feel like we're all sleeping on them. They've just stayed quiet for so long. They have all this cap space. It's like, why aren't you spending money?
Well, because at the end of the year, we talked about it. Like, who has money to spend on them? Yankees, Dodgers.
Yeah.
Oh, and then what did the Dodgers do? They got rid of Puig and Kemp. It's like, well, there's a spot for you. And then who do they sign? AJ Pollock. What the fuck?
Yeah.
They're all playing it smart now. I just don't like it.
I would like them to play stupid.
I like them. Stupid, I like it being like how it was before. The big market teams spent heavy, and then like 5 years down the line, they have to live with their mistake of going all in.
And that gives us a chance.
They got the laugh early on, and then we get the laugh when they're like trying to unload that $40 million a year that Bryce Harper's making.
Yeah.
At the end of his career.
Oh man, well, let's get into your guys' forte. We'll get in some NBA. Trade deadline was today. God. Last week we covered the Knicks and Dallas trade for Porzingis.
20-second deadline. I think we got to get Brandon on that for when he talks about the Clippers.
20-second deadline.
The 20-second pitch count.
Oh yeah, Brandon, you get a 20-second pitch count for covering these Clippers trades. God. So it was Clippers had a lot of moves. They moved. They trade with 76ers, a 6-player deal. They traded away Tobias Harris and Boban. Hey, I don't know. Marjanovic and Mike Scott for Landry Shamet, Wilson Chandler, and Mike Muscala with a 20 and 21 first-round pick, 2021 second round, and a 2023 second round. That's just a shitload.
The Clippers are just playing this smart, though. Right now they're an 8 seed and
basically giving up on the season.
Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, it sucks because they know they're not making a run.
Yeah.
The biggest fight though isn't this season for them. The biggest fight is going to be in the off season when you're going to see people like Kevin Durant, people like Kyrie Irving, Kemba Walker, Anthony Davis, Jimmy Butler. I mean, there's a bunch.
Even Tobias Harris can be available.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people that are going to be available for them to go after, and they have two of the biggest names in the sport in their corner, and they're ready to go to battle.
Yeah. I like this trade for both teams, to be honest.
It made sense for everybody.
I feel like the 76ers, the way that the NBA is set up with the salary cap is once you're over the salary cap, you retain a player's bird right where you can re-sign them and go beyond the salary cap to get them back. They could theoretically have 4 All-Stars and J.J. Redick in the starting lineup next year, locked up for long-term.
Yeah.
And then Ben Simmons is only going to get better. I can go into detail there, but basically I feel like the 76ers did really well. The Clippers, I think, scored on their first-round picks, and they got cap flexibility going forward.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
That Miami, one of those picks is
Miami's.
It's an unprotected Miami first-round pick.
And Miami sucks. I'm a Miami Heat fan.
And Miami's, it's a 2021 pick. Miami's probably going to start really trending down at that time because they have some really bad contracts on their books. So that pick could be a really good lottery pick.
Yeah, and then the Clippers, they just made some hallway trades, as I guess I'll call it, with the Lakers. Clippers got Zubac from LA, and then they traded away Michael Beasley.
No, we got Michael Beasley and Zubac for Mike Muscala, who just got.
Oh yeah, who they just got in that other trade.
So that trade, I was saying that I think the Clippers are giving up on the season, but they're not entirely giving up on the season. We have had a glaring hole at center the entire season, and Zubac, in my opinion, was the Lakers' second best player outside of LeBron this year.
Mm-hmm.
He has killed it.
Kyle Kuzma.
At third. I'll give Kuzma. Kuzma's been a stud, but outside of those two, Zubac's been, especially from a team who has a huge hole at center.
He's got a huge upside. I like Zubac too.
He is a stud.
I think that the Lakers, it made sense for them as well because I think that they're going to look to go after someone like Cantor.
They're pursuing the buyout market. Yeah. This is clearing up a roster spot for them essentially.
Exactly. So they're going after a veteran who's proven that can come in and help them make a push at a playoff run. So I thought it made sense for both teams. Like Brandon said, it's not a complete wash for the Clippers. The nice part about it too is that their first round picks that they have now are not their own. So even if they finish somewhere, if they finish 8th or 9th, cool, you get to go to the playoffs, or cool, you just missed out, and you have all this cap space, and you have other people's draft picks.
Or the Clippers?
Yeah.
So our pick, either it vests for the Celtics if we make the playoffs, so we don't get the pick. If we do miss the playoffs, we get to keep our first round pick.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's...
Yeah. Well, with the Lakers trading away Zubac, I'm pretty sure that means that the Anthony Davis is done. I mean, obviously the trade deadline is over. So he's staying put with the Pelicans. They were, nothing's going on there.
That's
good for the freaking Celtics.
The Pelicans were smart to hold on to Davis till the offseason.
Yeah, don't rush a move.
You have the Celtics, in my opinion, who have more trade assets as far as draft picks.
They have more to offer you as well
than any other team, and they have Jason Tatum, who's a stud.
You could pretty much rape the Celtics for everything that they have,
and they'll let it happen.
Yep. Yeah,
it's whether or not the Celtics really want them.
But
they're taking a little bit of a risk there.
The Celtics, though, in my opinion, with the 76ers going out and getting Tobias Harris and solidifying their starting 5 as the best in the East.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Kyrie still doesn't have a contract. You have Gordon Hayward, who's been playing like shit all year. I mean,
Poor
I was
guy.
saying it to you earlier.
Dean, your doppelganger.
I know I'm struggling.
I was saying to you earlier, though.
You're scared
we could
to
be in
attack
a
the hoop.
situation next year where, because Markelle Fultz just got dished out by the 76ers. Jason Tatum's been in all these trade talks with Anthony Davis. Lonzo Ball's been being dangled there by anybody else saying, hey, who wants him? The first 3 picks in that draft could essentially be playing in different uniforms.
Yeah, and like you said, you know, Markelle Fultz, the number 1 overall pick in 2017, got traded by the 76ers to the Magic. Yeah, we could see a lot of those guys.
He needs a fresh start, but
he definitely needs a fresh start. And me personally, I think this was more about clearing up cap space for the 76ers
think
a little
that
bit.
they realized how good of a point guard, and I say that with quotation marks because he's more of a forward point.
Who,
Simmons, he's like a point forward.
Ben Simmons?
Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
But he runs their offense. You don't need Markelle Fultz. And so, it makes sense for them to get rid of him.
You forget
this is, kind of getting into a deeper issue with basketball as a whole. This is why they need to change the rules for college. Because you put players in there. Obviously, Jason Tatum had a phenomenal rookie campaign. You know, he's still probably the second best player currently on the Celtics outside of Kyrie Irving. You can make it Al Horford. You know,
Jaylen Brown's pretty good
Brown.
too.
You could make the argument for them too.
I think Tatum's their second best.
And then you have Lonzo Ball, and you put these guys on a court with Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, and they are boys against men.
Oh, for
There's
sure.
too much of an age gap with these 19-year-olds coming into basketball, and they're not ready. Markelle Fultz was not ready to play professional basketball.
Well, supposedly he got into a bike accident. That's what supposedly happened.
But you even see it with Lonzo Ball. You see it with, all these dudes that get drafted so high in the NBA draft. And the guys that aren't freaking Zion Williams, who are just freaking beasts.
Freak athletes, yeah.
Or, DeAndre Ayton, who's just a physical specimen.
Mm-hmm.
You can't expect them to come in there and produce right away. You need to allow them to grow in college, just like they do in football. So when they do come up, they're more at a physical level. 19, you're not done growing yet.
Well, they've been talking about making it so that the players have to, if they want to skip college, they have to sign to a G League contract. So that way they can't play on the big league roster until I think it's like 2 years after they've been signed. Because the claim is that they're not making money in college, so they want to go and start making money for their families.
I get it. Like, I understand the financial standpoint of all of it, and it's a business. And, it's a stopping point, but they need to get rid of the stopping point. In baseball, you can either sign your contract straight out of high school and play professional, or you can go to college. Yeah. And if it's your choice to go to college, then you got to put in your 3 years minimum, and then you can go. If you choose to forego college and play professionally, then you got to sign a G League contract and work your way up. And now you're making your money. There's too far of a gap. And now you're seeing players like Markelle Fultz who, potentially, maybe he turns it around. Maybe he becomes a good player. But it's too much pressure. There's 2 rounds in this draft. And that's very top heavy. The top 10 picks are always going to be the better of the talent. And then after that, it kind of falls off a little bit here and there. You see players like Giannis Antetokounmpo that come out later than that. The Kawhi Leonards of the world, who's obviously another freak athlete.
Kawhi and Donovan Mitchell.
Like, these are the first 3 players that were selected in the draft. We're not talking about dudes that just fell off towards the bottom.
It was a pretty weak draft class, to be honest.
But it wasn't in the moment.
Outside of Tatum's the best player in that draft.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I would not argue that at all. But Markelle Fultz was picked first overall.
He took a huge step back this year, actually.
Yeah, I know we missed a lot of other trades that happened in the NBA. Those are just kind of the big ones that stuck out to me. Are there any others that you guys are really...
The Raptors got Marc Gasol. That's huge for them.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Trade.
I didn't see that went through. I saw there was talks, but I didn't know it went through.
Yeah, Valanciunas.
It's huge for them because now it's a matter of, can they hold... Raptors, the Bucks...
Yeah, the Bucks got Mirotic on us. Actually, no, they ended up giving up 4 second-round picks to get him, too.
But to me, it's all bad for the Celtics.
Celtics were the only, top-tier contending team in the East that did not...
And they have the most pieces to move. I get that they can't trade for Anthony Davis right now, but you have all these assets that can't get anybody, and now you're, like Brandon's saying, you're taking a risk by waiting until the offseason, and then you're taking an even bigger risk giving all these players away for one guy. If I'm Kyrie personally, I'm not signing with the Celtics.
Well, and especially since AD said he didn't want to re-sign with the Celtics.
Yeah. And if I'm Kyrie, I'm not either.
But you never know. I mean, I actually applaud the Raptors for going out and getting not Valanciunas, Marc Gasol.
Oh yeah.
Because they already went all in for Kawhi. You don't know if he's re-signing with them. They're trying to campaign him to. They've done well without him too when he's missed games, by the way. But
They're
you got to
team.
if you're gonna go all in with Kawhi, you better go all the way in.
Yeah.
Like this is the year you go all the way in.
Definitely.
And since the 76ers went all in and the Bucks kind of went all in,
it was a little odd though that the Warriors stayed pretty quiet.
I don't think that's odd at all.
Sarcasm.
That's the joke because like there's like pictures of all the Warriors players and they're all sleeping right now. Like they have nothing to worry about.
Yep.
They're the front runners.
Well, speaking of the Golden State Warriors, it was the NBA All-Star draft tonight, and it was Team LeBron
I
and
saw LeBron drafted
Team Giannis.
KD first.
KD went first, and Steph, then Kyrie, and then Giannis with the fourth pick, Joel Embiid. I mean, I don't know. It's just crazy that it's always them, KD and Steph at the top.
I don't really like the draft process. I think the way
I think they're just trying to make basketball fun. It's like
they're definitely trying to make it fun, but I feel like it's. I don't know. I guess these guys talk anyways, but because it's an association, they're basically all buddies anyways now.
Yeah.
But I'm not into that. I do think like having it separated West and East. I don't agree with that. I think it should be the best. Best 10 play or best 20 players should be in the All-Star game. Like Tobias Harris didn't get in, even though he's at like a fringe 50, 40, 90 guy.
Well, I mean, he just got traded to the East, so you think he'll make it in that?
Well, they can't make it now. They already set the rosters, but Tobias is
I think
killing
it
it.
has to be West versus East, though. I mean, then you're changing up like every All-Star dynamic of any sport.
I just think like the best guys deserve. Like if these guys out West,
there's always snubs, though. I mean,
they're getting snubbed hard, though.
Yeah,
like
there's more dominance in the West for sure.
It's just part of it, though.
Like Luka Doncic didn't get in. Tobias Harris didn't get in.
It's also been like that forever. When you look at back in the East with freaking Chicago Bulls, I mean, there's a ton of good players that nobody ever talks about anymore.
Yeah,
but it just to me, it just feels like it should be.
You gotta
more
take
balanced.
the sensitivity out of it, though. I mean, you can't go like the 10 best players because then when they vote for the Pro Bowl or the All Pro teams. It's like, oh, okay, well, we're just going to take Tom Brady, Phillip Rivers, and Patrick Mahomes. Sorry, Drew Brees, and all these other guys over here because, we're just taking the 3 best.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like if you've performed the best, you deserve to get the recognition you deserve. But
yeah. All right, well, let's wrap it up. Ryan, you got our stat of the day this week?
Yeah, I went baseball. I figured we're talking a lot of baseball.
Stat of the day, dabba-doo-ba-doo, stat of the day, dat of the day. Here comes that what? Stat of the day. Bop.
Let's go. Give it to us.
Chris Davis of the Oakland A's
God.
had his 4th consecutive year of batting .247 on the dot.
Wait, how many?
.247.
How many years?
4 years in a row.
That's crazy.
4 years
4 years in a row? That's crazy.
Oh, shoot.
Yep.
That's
fucking almost impossible.
That's ridiculous.
I had heard that stat before, but it was like 2 years ago or something like that.
4 years.
So,
4 years in a row?
4 years straight?
247.
Holy crap.
That's incredible. That consistency is key.
Dude.
That's nuts.
That's insane. No, I heard he did it like a couple of years ago. I didn't know he was still going on, though.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
the
cool.
crazy part.
That's pretty cool. I mean, that's a great number, too. 247? I mean, like...
What's funny,
that's not
what's-
that
to be
good.
consistently,
What's funny
like...
to me, though, is like, so he's been in the league since 2013, and he hit 247, 247, 247, 247, and then he hit 244, so just almost, and he hit 279, which he obviously was a smaller sample size there, but his batting average over his entire career, 248.
That's
Crazy.
pretty cool.
4 years in a row, like, you know how many freaking at-bats that is? That's insane.
That's, yeah. Dude,
Well-
baseball has a lot of weird anomalies, so...
Yeah.
247, like, that's, I don't get that.
That's pretty
Down,
cool.
like, because as those who don't know, we're talking point. So he gets a hit, 20 or 24% of the time.
One at bat could seriously screw that up.
Yes.
Yeah.
One walk.
Yeah.
One walk could screw
It's
that
not
up.
an at bat.
And he's got 500 at bats a season or something like that. So
That's
one
cool.
at bat just changes all of that.
Yep.
That's pretty neat.
Just for those who don't really follow baseball,
Dude, I heard another really sad stat. The Giants haven't had a player hit 30 home runs since Barry Bonds in 2004.
That
Dang.
sucks ass.
They've got.
But how many World Series have they won since then?
Yeah,
You think about it, like Brandon Belt, I guess he got close to it. Buster Posey probably got close to it. Hunter Pence probably got close to it.
Those are all high 20s. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they had all three of them on their team, so it's shoot, I'll take 150 not 150. I'll take 75 home runs by three different people.
Yeah, as opposed to
Barry Bonds has 73
90
home runs by him, or 75,
or
74 home runs by himself.
in one season.
Still, that's good. 247
Well,
4 years in a row.
Us as Padre fans, we know Barry Bonds worse than any other team because he hit against the Padres better than any other team out there.
Yeah,
just like
most people do.
Yeah, but he was off the charts against the Padres.
All right, well, let's wrap it up. We are the Three Amigos and a podcast. You can listen to us anywhere you listen to podcasts. That's really it. Email us, threeamigosandapodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, drive safe, everybody.
Drive safe. Yeah, we got to go check on that car from the hit and run. I feel terrible.
Yeah, it sucks.
But, all right, everybody, we'll see you next week. And the All Bad Podcast, we got a post coming for you.
Thank you, guys.
See you next week, guys.